Look at how this structure cuts through some of the most unforgiving terrain on the planet. From freezing deserts to vertical mountain ridges, it stretches entirely across the landscape until it meets the sea. This diagram shows just how massive that distance is. The total length measures 21,196 kilometers. To match that, you would have to travel from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and back 3 continuous times, just to equal the length of this single structure. Building and maintaining a barrier of this size became a multi-generational obsession. Over the course of 2,000 years, successive emperors poured so much of their national wealth into expanding it that multiple dynasties completely bankrupted themselves. The human toll was even heavier. Roughly 500,000 laborers died in the elements during its construction, earning the site the grim historical title of the world's largest cemetery. Generations of imperial rulers bet their empires and the lives of their people on the strength of this stone line. We have to look at the actual outcomes to see if that investment ever truly paid off. The push for a unified border began around 223 BC, driven by the intense ambition of Emperor Qin Shi Huang. This image shows the fertile farming terraces carved out along the Yellow River. The ancient Chinese economy and way of life relied entirely on these carefully managed, water-rich agricultural lands. Directly to the north, the environment was completely different. The harsh, barren steppes were home to desperate, highly mobile Mongolian tribes who couldn't farm. To survive the brutal conditions, they relied on swift, violent raids down south to steal harvested crops and resources. To end the constant looting, imperial planners decided they needed to draw a hard, undeniable physical line in the sand. They intended to build a permanent wedge of stone, physically locking their settled, agrarian civilization away from the unpredictable raids of the northern nomads. To execute that plan, engineers had to figure out how to lock millions of heavy stone blocks together thousands of years before the invention of modern cement. Their solution was a durable chemical bond. They created an ancient mortar by mixing a thick paste of ground lime and sticky rice water, resulting in a seal so strong it still holds the granite blocks together today. This 3D cross-section highlights the scale. Standing 23 feet high and 21 feet wide, the decks fit 5 cavalrymen side by side for rapid movement. Along that deck sat 25,000 heavily fortified watchtowers, housing 600,000 soldiers. Those towers also doubled as a rapid communication network. Guards used smoke signals to transmit warnings across the mountains during the day and lit massive fires to alert neighboring outposts at night. Beneath the stone, builders carved an extensive network of secret underground tunnels, giving Chinese troops the ability to move undetected and launch surprise counterattacks on enemy forces. On paper, this was a fully integrated system, designed so that a threat at any single point could be detected, communicated, and met with overwhelming force in a matter of hours. But the construction of this integrated system relied entirely on the agonizing labor of over 2 million conscripted citizens and prisoners. The daily reality for these workers was incredibly brutal. They were forced to work 16 to 18-hour shifts in freezing temperatures, manually hauling enormous granite blocks up nearly vertical cliffsides. The construction quotas were so unforgiving that bringing bodies back to their home villages was impossible. Workers who succumbed to starvation, disease, or the bitter cold were simply buried in shallow trenches right next to the wall to keep the project moving. The exact defense system designed to protect the population was literally glued together by the forced labor and lives of the people who built it. The true utility of the wall is revealed when we look at the moments it was actually tested by the northern tribes it was built to exclude. In the 13th century, the Mongolian warlord Genghis Khan simply bypassed and breached these defenses to push deep into Chinese territory. This map highlights how consistently northern invaders circumvented the barrier. Mongol forces walked around the defenses again in 1550, and by 1644, the Manchu army poured right through the gates, completely overthrowing the Ming dynasty. The massive stone fortifications couldn't adjust to reality. Even the largest static wall in human history proved ineffective against a highly mobile, determined enemy. The structure did see a brief resurgence of military utility during the Second World War, when Chinese troops used its high ridges to train and mount defensive positions against the Japanese army. But today, the massive stone dragon stretching across the mountains represents something else entirely. It stands as a physical record of human fear and the extreme lengths a society will go to in order to feel safe. Originally built to keep the outside world away, the wall now acts as a global magnet, drawing over 10 million international tourists across its ancient steps every single year. Today, the wall stands as an eternal, awe-inspiring physical record of the lengths a civilization will go to in the pursuit of absolute security.